Hi, welcome back. Dr. Bradshaw here. Congrats. If you're watching this, you did it. 3 weeks, 21 days. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. Dr. Rutledge here, Dr. Hillary here at the office, our health coaches, we are all proud of you. For those of you who have not done this before, that's a really big step. So congrats. Now I recommend, I told you at the first video, you should take a picture of yourself. I recommend now that you are done with it, take another picture of yourself. Front view, side view, and compare the two. Some of you may have lost 2 to 5 pounds, but you feel great. So that's a good start. Some of you may have lost 15 to 20 pounds. You might be like, wow, I didn't realize how quickly that would come off. That's great too. Some of you didn't lose any weight at all. You just feel clear-headed. You feel like you're less dependent upon caffeine. You feel less irritable. Congrats to you too. This stuff works, okay? And like I said, I come back to it every year as a preventative thing because I have a family history rife with cancer. Toxic issues have kind of ravaged my family, so I'm not going to let it happen to me. And so I do this every so often, and usually once a year. So if you choose to do that, great. We're happy to support you in that. The one thing I did want to mention, which I did not mention in the previous videos, I should have, I apologize. It was in part of your guide. So if you've been using your guide, which very likely you have been, in there's a journal. And you should have been journaling what you were eating from day 1 on to day 21, ideally. Doing so just kind of helps you with a plan going forward. So hopefully you did that, like what you ate for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, how much water did you drink, how much exercise did you do, how do you feel, any notes on each day, and it goes day 1 through day 21, okay? So that's in part of your guide. Hopefully you use that. If you did not, that's okay. You can still use it because you already went through the plan was laid out for you. Now you're kind of on your own. What are you going to do? Well, I recommend that you use the following rules to reintroduce foods, okay? Since you did this correctly, by the way, we're done with our supplements. Supplements, whatever you have left, you put them aside. I recommend you keep the shake mix. You'll continue to use that until you're out of it. As far as just snacks in between meals, you've gotten used to it. Just keep using it until it runs out, okay? If you want to buy some more, you let us know. You can, if you want to find a different replacement for this when you run out, that's totally fine. But I recommend you get in the habit of using shakes to keep your blood sugar level through the day so you're not going breakfast and then no lunch, or maybe you did eat lunch but it was a crappy meal and so it spiked up and then you didn't eat again until like another 8 hours later because you were busy, or maybe you skipped dinner altogether, you just crash. But if you had shake mixes between breakfast and lunch, you kind of would have let it level out here, and then as you're going on through lunch to dinner, you would have had another boost up with the shake before you got down to dinner 8 hours later. Like that shake mix is awesome. It really does help in terms of keeping your blood sugar level, which is key for keeping your body weight down. It's the cortisol spikes and the insulin spikes that result with that from blood sugar spiking because you don't have enough calories in you. Your stomach and your metabolism is requiring food, and you can go Snickers or you can go this, right? And so this keeps everything kind of level, which helps with keeping your weight down. So anyway, you keep using that. We'll put that aside. So I'm going to recommend the following. You're going to start to reintroduce foods one at a time. Take the foods that you've really been wanting the most, things that you really like eating. Let's say it's wheat. You like bread, you like noodles, the whole thing. You're going to start with wheat, and you're going to eat wheat, and you're going to have to give it 3 days before you have any other reintroduction. You're going to literally stick to this plan, this eating plan, the vegetables, the oils, the proteins as labeled, as outlined, I should say, like all of the things that we've been doing. You're going to continue to do that. The only thing you're going to do for those first 3 days is add in that one food. If it's wheat, that's fine. You need to give it 3 days. People don't realize that when you eat something that you are sensitive to, allergic to, you respond to pretty quickly. A couple minutes, a couple hours, you're going to feel like, my gut and my diarrhea, or just like, GERD, heartburn, reflux. It's pretty quick. Some of us have intolerances where you can absorb it without so much of a reaction right away. But within 72 hours, there is a reaction. And it may not even be in the gut. Your gut might be fine, your bowel movement might be fine, but you get a headache, but you get brain fog, but you don't sleep well, but you get like, my hands are achy. My small joints, my fingers are achy. There you go. There's your answer. You can't have wheat. All right? So the purpose of this elimination diet is not just to lose weight. This detox kit is not designed just to help you detox. It's going to help you figure out what you should not be eating going forward. Because what happens when you eat wheat, if you're intolerant to it, is that you're going to get swelling. Swelling leads to bloating. Bloating leads to inflammation, joints, muscles, tissues, face. Like, you just swell, right? Your body can't digest it. And so you must get off of those things and stay off of them, all right? Some of this might be a new educational thing for you where you're just like, just smacks you in the face, and it's going to suck initially. But when you look at the long-term effect, the 1-year goal, the 5-year goal, the 10 or 20-year goal in terms of your health, and not having that weight, and not having to have the heart attack, and not having the stroke, or the knee replacement, or the hip replacement, or the Alzheimer's, because you have been able to keep your blood sugar level, you've been able to keep your weight down, you will look back and say, this kit changed my life forever. Okay? When I first did this, I did not realize that I had an allergy or an intolerance to eggs. Had no idea. By the way, that was not actually mentioned on this. I had said earlier on when you were eating this, and it says it in the guide, no eggs. So I missed that part. I apologize. But for those of you who did eat eggs, all right, hopefully you did all right. The eggs are actually more common as an allergen or an intolerance than people realize. So for me, I had no idea. Went back and started eating eggs, immediately started having knee pain. Like, wait a minute, what is going on? And I was 32 at the time. Knee pain? What? Stopped eating eggs, knee pain went away. Okay, tried it again a month later, knee pain and a headache. Okay, done. I developed an intolerance to eggs. And guess what? The intolerances you have right now, if you're 40, weren't the same when you were 20. Or you might have some now when you're 30 that you're not going to have when you're 60. So don't think that this is just a life sentence. No more whatever, forever. But for right now, and your body changes every 7 years, it might be a while before you can have wheat or eggs again, in my case, right? I still can't have eggs. And that was 17 years ago. Can't have them. So you're going to reintroduce foods 3 days at a time. So if it's wheat, 3 days, and you're going to journal. Use your journal that you have in here. Same format you had before. Write down what you ate, write down how much you had, and then you're going to write down how you felt afterwards. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Write it down. And then, if you did okay, you're like, oh, I feel like I did when I was coming off the cleanse. I feel great. Then you're not sensitive to that thing, and you can continue to have that thing. Okay? Peanuts, corn, wheat, soy, dairy, chocolate, alcohol, caffeine. What's the other one? I think I hit them all, actually. I think that's it. Those are the big ones. But there are others, right? Maybe pineapple. You don't even realize it. Maybe it's something that's more natural, like something with tomatoes. Some people are sensitive to the nightshade vegetables. Tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, onions. And you start to go back on those. Or maybe you actually never felt like eating those, you felt great. Maybe you actually did great on the cleanse, but there were a couple days where you had tomatoes or nightshades, and you were like, I didn't feel so great after that night. I had some bloating or whatever. It's very possible that those nightshades were a problem. So even though it's a vegetable and it's recommended to have those, you will know while you're doing the cleanse, if you had those, that that's part of a problem. You may have to get off of those, all right? So you're going to just continue to add things back in that you did not have on the cleanse. step by step by step, 3 days at a time. You have to give it 3 days. You already gone through the 3 weeks. You've already committed and spent this money and spent this time. Stick with it and figure out what you're sensitive to, and then avoid it. It's as simple as that. For me, it was eggs, and it made a huge difference for me. And so, I'm trying to think, is there anything else on that? I think that's pretty much it. Just the other things you want to ask yourself, it's not just how you feel. You want to ask yourself as you're going through those 3 days post a certain food, let's say corn, for example, how do I feel? How do I think? How do I move? Like, how do I exercise? Do I feel good after exercise? Do I feel like I'm recovering after exercise? How do I sleep is another one. Some people may not have any symptoms at all. Gut, brain, joint, energy. But when you sleep at night, you're waking up in the middle of the night for no reason. It's not like you're one of your family members was ill and you're really concerned. Like, it's just a normal day, a normal whatever. But you ate chocolate a couple days ago and you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep. That's part of your problem. You have an intolerance to chocolate, and it is affecting some part of your body system. It could be the detox part of your body system, the GI, it could be your neurohormones, it could be your nervous system. We don't know. It doesn't matter. Your body's telling you it's not working. So you have to get off of it. You have to stay off of it. And that is the key to maintaining your weight loss, right? You want to make sure that you continue to exercise, you continue to eat well, but you also need to avoid certain foods that might be fine for other people. Just you. This elimination diet has now outlined for you what you can and can't eat. So do it correctly as you work your way back into this, and be diligent about it, because you will have learned a lot that's going to save you a lot of problems, health issues down the line, and keep you feeling like you're thin and just your energy is up, and you overall just feel like you're as healthy as you should be for your age. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, you want to do this again, like I said, you let us know. But I do this once a year. I recommend you do it at least once a year to run through this. If you have any other questions, the last thing I wanted to mention, on that 5th link that we sent you, there's a bunch of resources on there. There's another thing. If you would give us a review of your experience with this kit. I have included a QR code on that list of resources, and it's just basically an opportunity for you to scan that. It's just a couple of questions. You just post an online review of our office, your experience here with what we've done, and I would love it. That would be more than I could really expect out of this. Your commitment was what I expected. If you give us just a little extra and a review on how this went for you, how it changed your life, one way or the other, I would really appreciate that as well. So again, kudos. Very proud of you, and look forward to some of these other things we might be doing down the road in terms of conditions that need to be treated, not just weight loss. But yeah, thanks again. Signing off. See you down the road.